probably heard the phrase balanced diet thrown around a million times, right? But what does that actually mean? Honestly, it can feel super complicated with new advice popping up all the time. But it really doesn't have to be. So today, we're going to build a simple, visual blueprint that's going to change the way you look at your plate for good.
So let's just get right to it. When someone says balanced diet, what should really come to mind? Is it just, eating a bunch of salads and trying to avoid junk food? Or is there something deeper going on?
Well, here's the core idea, plain and simple. A balanced diet is all about getting the essential stuff your body needs to run properly. And this is the part that really matters, it's about getting them in the correct proportions for you. It's not some one-size-fits-all rule. It's more like a personalized blueprint for your own health.
Okay, to make this whole thing less abstract, let's build our blueprint around a really powerful visual tool. The perfect plate. Seriously, think of this as your guide for pretty much every meal.
This right here is the balanced plate, and it's just a brilliantly simple guide. Forget about complicated calorie counting for a second. Just by looking at your plate divided up like this, you're already way ahead of the game. So let's break down what goes in each section, and more importantly, why it goes there. Let's start with this first quadrant, which should be about a quarter of your plate. This is where your carbohydrates live. We're talking bread, rice, pasta, potatoes. And why here? Because these are your body's primary fuel. They provide the raw energy you need to get through your day. All right, on to the next quarter of the plate, protein. Think meat, fish, eggs, beans, and nuts. Now, if carbs are the fuel for your body's car, then proteins are the construction crew. They are absolutely essential for growth and for repairing tissues all over your body. Now hold on, you might notice something pretty important here. Half of our plate is dedicated to vegetables, and that is completely intentional. They are packed with fiber, which is so crucial for keeping our digestion healthy, and they're also loaded with compounds that help protect you from long-term stuff like heart disease and diabetes. And filling out the rest of that vibrant half of the plate is fruit. You can basically think of fruits as nature's little multivitamins. They deliver all these essential vitamins and minerals, usually with a good dose of fiber too. They perfectly complement the veggies to create this powerful, nutrient-packed foundation for your meal. So, we've built our visual blueprint. Now let's pop the hood and take a look at the engine room. The food on our plate is made up of 3 key things called macronutrients. These are the main fuels that keep your body up and running. As you can see, each of these macronutrients has a very distinct job. Carbs are for immediate energy, protein is for all that building and repairing we talked about, and fats, or lipids, they're essential for storing energy and protecting your organs. The big takeaway here is all about balance. Your body needs all 3 of them working together to be at its best. But it's not just about the big 3. There are also the micronutrients. I like to think of them as the specialists or the power-ups. You only need them in smaller amounts, but trust me, they have incredibly important jobs to do. And this is where you can see just how critical these specialists really are. Each one has a highly specific role, like vitamin C for skin repair or iron for carrying oxygen in your blood. And when they're missing, the consequences can be pretty severe. A lack of these isn't just a minor inconvenience. It can lead to some really serious diseases like scurvy or anemia. Let's take vitamin C for a dramatic example. For centuries, this mysterious illness just plagued sailors on long voyages at sea. Like the quote says, it was a common disease for anyone who had no access to fresh food for months at a time. And that disease was scurvy. It was a direct result of vitamin C deficiency, and it caused these devastating health problems. In the same way, a lack of vitamin D, often from not getting enough sunlight, led to a disease called rickets in children, which caused their bones to soften and deform. I mean, these historical examples are a pretty stark reminder that these micronutrients have a macro impact on our health. Finally, we cannot forget 2 unsung heroes of our diet, fiber and water. Just think of fiber as the transit system for your digestion, keeping everything moving along smoothly. And water, well, it's the liquid that pretty much every chemical reaction in your body happens in. Without it, basically nothing works. Okay, we've covered all the components. Now let's put it all together and bring it back to you. Because, like we said at the very beginning, the perfect blueprint isn't static. It actually evolves as you go through different stages of your life. This journey through life really shows how much our nutritional needs change. Little kids need a huge surge of calcium for their rapidly growing skeletons. Teenagers, they're building so much muscle and bone that their energy needs are often at their absolute peak. Then, as adults, the focus kind of shifts to maintenance. And for pregnant women, well, the body is literally building a whole new person, so the demand for key nutrients like iron and calcium just skyrockets.
So there you have it, the blueprint for a balanced diet. It's really about building your plate with the right proportions, with lots of variety, and it's about listening to your body and adapting as you move through life. So the only question left is, how are you going to build your next plate?